Well, good morning, good
Good
afternoon, good
morning.
evening, wherever you are on the planet. My name is Sherletta Germain, and today we are going to be meeting with an amazing individual who I've had the opportunity to have some offline conversations with. He hails from the city of Flint, Michigan, a city that's near and dear to my heart, and he is, in my opinion, killing the game in these artist streets. Please, please, please welcome our famous, almost famous, infamous, maybe locally famous. I'm speaking it into existence, right? A worldwide name and a TV production. Rapheal Robinson, how are you? How are you? How are you, sir?
I am awesome. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad you're having me. That's beautiful. I appreciate it. I like what you're doing over here. Look at you. I'm proud of you over here.
Hey, thank you so much. I
Mhm.
so appreciate it. It really feels good to have conversations with people that are living in abundance. And having you on the show was important to me because sometimes we just hear so many things about the city of Flint and what is happening in the city, and we don't really know because we are not on ground zero, right? So despite the things that you hear in the negatives, there are actually some people that are doing some positive things to impact the community and bring awareness into the community, starting with film and filmmaking, which is actually near and dear to my heart. So as you salute me, I have to say hats off to you, man, for doing your thing.
Yeah, I like what you're doing here. I appreciate this. This is awesome. I like how you got it all set up.
All right. Well, we had some technical difficulties. My co-host is unable to come back onto the recording today. So I do want to just give a shout out to my god brother, Larry Penton from Penton Pending Consulting Solutions. He's a firefighter paramedic. And, he jumps on the show when he can. He may not be popping back in today, but I did want to acknowledge the fact that we did attempt to create this show earlier today, as you got that screenshot. And thank you for doing that. I hadn't even looked at Facebook. And then I found out that, that it was,
It wasn't. It didn't
Shet
happen.
show. It was a Shet show. I had to throw it away, right?
That wasn't it. Hey,
Le
it
trash,
happens.
le garbage.
It happens. Throw it on the blooper reel or something.
Yes. So let's just tap in because this is all about King Mondo TV, and the show today is our second episode. Basically, it's unveiling Flint's creative pulse with Rapheal Robinson of King Mondo TV. So share a little bit about your journey as an artist and the filmmaker, how King Mondo TV came into existence.
Well, first, I am an artist because I'm a freehand comic book artist. I do a lot of comic book drawing and storytelling, and that places me in a position where I can kind of just build a story out of the things I see around me. Either the story as is, or I make something up as I go. And I've always been pretty imaginative when it comes to that. And as far as and it just blended into the filmmaking, as far as me doing photography and filming my children or family members, parties or whatnot. And King Mondo Television was kind of like a birth from that artistic view that I had.
Yeah. Okay. So on the first interview, we talked a little bit about your passion for drawing and how you just kind of picked that up as a kid. I think that that's important. I didn't even mention this, but even in conversating about creativity, right? A lot of our children are not really tapping into that frontal lobe, that left lobe where we were working on our creative side. So having that ability to be able to harness that into your career, I think that's really important to talk about. So thank you for continuing the work. And I want to go back to that question before I tap into the next question. I am super excited about it. And I got a chance to ask you before, which is you talked about the submissions that you had done to the big network people, right? So I want to talk a little bit about that.
Well, I'm a huge fan of Marvel Comics. Always has been ever since I was a kid. I wanted to work for Stan Lee and draw for him. and I would submit artwork to them, but with no feedback. So I eventually just started drawing my own comic book characters. Marvel has this comic book series called Marvel Universe, where they highlight all their characters and give them bios, their height and weight and all that stuff and their powers. So I just started creating my own comic book characters, like from scratch, as original drawing from my head. And I kind of kept the stories that I made on the back burner, just because of fear of it getting stolen by somebody. And then I think some of it did, because I submitted some work to Cartoon Network when they were launching Adult Swim, because my cartoons were kind of adult orientated as far as violence, blood and gore, stuff like that. And they said they sent a letter back saying that's not what they're looking for. And eventually they started putting out programs just like the stuff that I sent them. So I put it back on the back burner and just, and started focusing on the photography and the filmmaking. I mean, I still draw, but
well, it sounds like you've always been a trendsetter. So that's what it sounds like to me. I mean, I heard you say something, but to me, it sounded like you were a trendsetter and they wasn't ready. So
they weren't ready for what I already had. Yeah, I was ahead of my time, I guess.
Absolutely. So as a Flint native, I want to talk a little bit about your impact work in Flint. So how has your connection to the city of Flint influenced your work as a filmmaker?
Fire, because I used to do airbrushing down in at K-Dub Tattoos on Welsh Boulevard back in like 2009. And it was a lot of activity in that area, a lot of colorful people. And I was filming my my airbrush work, just for promotion. YouTube was kind of just starting out and I wanted to put that out there. But at the same time, the people that were coming in for tattoos, piercings, or airbrushing, or even the people just in that neighborhood in particular, was extremely interesting if you record the everyday life of that area. And a friend of mine wanted to walk through Flint and kind of talk to the people on camera and just kind of put out the essence of the people. And we did one episode. I guess, as far as the filmmaking part, it really sparked my interest. So I kept going on with it, and just created a man around town type show where I talked to everyday people. I didn't really chase celebrities. I more or less was interested on the guy that was selling barbecue on the corner store, or the kids getting out of school, like, how's your teacher, what you learned today, or the politicians running for some kind of office, if it's, and just everyday people, not more or less the entertainers, even though I highlighted those, the entertainers, singers, rappers, because, Flint as a whole is beautiful. When we united, when we come together, we move mountains. When we try to do it alone here, we don't do nothing but build animosity amongst each other. We just we walk around with our frowns and our chest out, but we real loving people here. And I wanted to showcase that on KingMondoTV. It get lost in translation because, we rough, we brash, we say what we want to say. So it was just a reflection. The show is a reflection of the city, and it's nothing premeditated or malice. I'm not doing anything malicious, trying to exploit or anything like that matter. But yeah, that's King Mondo Television in the whole. It's Flint City worldwide.
Flint City worldwide, and you said a lot, man. We definitely have some enriching, some valuable people that have come out of the city. Out of the trenches, I call it. But I do want to talk about a little bit of some of your notable projects. Tell us about some of your notable projects in Flint. And like I said, I had the privilege to do this before because my stuff was trash. But let's talk about it again, because you've been putting in the work.
Yeah. My outside of King Mondo Television, it was a miniseries we did called Dirty Cop, the miniseries. And it was a freestyle series where we improv everything daily, and I would just take it home and edit it. But they would improv off of my direction. So it was every day we would come up with a scenario that, like a cause and effect. If I fell off my bike today, the next episode I should be in a cast. We just kind of freeballed it off the top of our head. But one was going to be a 3-part miniseries turned into a 22 episode miniseries with 2 movies afterwards, and we showed it on channel 17, Comcast cable channel 17, which it played for 4 years. So that was Flint, Saginaw, Lansing, I think some parts of Wayne County. A lot of people seen it, and that was kind of what we was known for. And I did 4 other movies after that: Ice Cream Boys, Black Day, which played on Amazon Prime for about a year, and Bad Money. I turned into a mini series. We was originally going to be a full feature, but COVID happened, and we had to sit down somewhere. Rest in peace, Biggs. He passed away during filming that, so we didn't necessarily finish the movie, but I put it out as a mini series. And recently I just worked with Stu Nino. He wrote a story called Suncrest Drive, and I filmed and directed and edited that for him. Just kind of like a love project for the city that I wanted somebody to give me their story and see if I can bring it to life for them. So that's where we at now with Suncrest Drive, and it's doing big numbers. People talking. But they still talking about Dirty Cop too.
So I gotta watch Dirty Cops. I did start watching Suncrest Drive. Shout out to I used to do my dirt over there, right? I already know where that's at.
Okay.
Right?
You be over there. I see you over there.
That's right behind Northern. So I do get that. And just really keep doing what you're doing. Let's navigate a little bit talking about these challenges that you faced. So when we were doing our 15-minute discovery call, you mentioned that your films were flagged and removed during a corporate climate change with YouTube, which resulted in a significant loss of followers. Right. So my question is, how did you handle that setback? And what strategies did you use to rebuild your audience?
Well, it was a huge setback because, from 2009 to 2012, KingMondo Television welcome to Flint City, and we more or less focused on the everyday people, like I said before, family friendly, and then the year after that, I started filming a lot of parties, a lot of concerts around the town, and the climate was a lot of hip hop and a lot of bravado and adult orientated situations going on, and I was capturing it, and the channel, blew up, and and I still was placing movies on the channel. I would even, film church events or the Urban League events, because I taught an entrepreneurship class for kids at the Urban League, and I would showcase everything on that one channel. Well, the Bible thumpers started flagging the adult raw and uncut stuff like a team of people just flagging it. So I appealed it, try to clean up some of the stuff, take some of the videos down, but eventually they just deleted the entire channel, and we accumulated over 1.3 million views overall, and I had over 4,000 subscribers when they deleted the channel. And luckily for me, I saved most of everything that was uploaded. I still got it in my hard drive, but a lot of the other stuff was lost. Yeah, a lot of good programming, not just the adult entertainment stuff. And that was like 1% of the programming. It's just those videos, But I rebuilt. I started over. I didn't use the same formula that I used before. Cleaned up the act. Try to, because sometimes things like that close the door for you, because I want to work with everybody, but I'm still big on freedom of speech and living your life the way you want to, without hurting people. So I guess I was the first victim of the cancel culture, and I'm still bouncing out. So they ain't gonna get me.
Trust me when I tell you, the cancer culture is real. This is one of the things that I talk about moving your own platform. And one of the reasons that I'm moving intentionally the way that I'm moving, because at any time, if they cut me off at the knees, guess what? Nobody has any place to reach me, or you have to start from the bottom. So, I didn't have my Facebook page hacked once, right? And after putting in the work and you build it up and then it's no more, or, so I definitely get that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Also, I got a Facebook page that's hacked and it's still running because people, Facebook won't take it down. So if you're listening, Rapheal Dion Robinson is not me. That is a Cash App scam. And it's got a lot of my content on it. I mean, and it's due to my fault. I thought it was a friend of mine. They got hacked and I fell for it and sent my face and said something stupid for they hi, and this is legit. So hope don't nobody hit me.
Definitely was happening probably at the same time that mine was happening, because I saw my cousin's hand. I just knew that it was, and it wasn't. So, but we know we Flint built, right? They say built Ford tough. We built Flint tough.
Right.
We know how to get it back. All right. So we talked about a little bit about these collaborations, the power of collaboration. So you collaborated with a bunch of local artists. You talked a little bit about that in my previous questions. But you've collaborated with local artists who have a strong YouTube presence. So how has partnering with them enhanced your creative work? And what insights can you share about building a supportive artistic community?
Well, I've always been big on unification by any means necessary. Like I've always said, Flint, Michigan looks better when we come together. You try to do it by yourself is just going to build animosity amongst one another, because that's just how we are around here. For some reason, we don't applaud one another, but if we all in it together at the same time, it's all gravy. So I mean, we might as well roll with what works. So, but and I've always said that Flint is too small to compete with one another. It's 33 square miles. It's under 100,000 people. It shouldn't be an east, west, south side, all that stuff. It's just Flint. And not even Beecher, that's Flint too. We all together over here, or you can say this is all Beecher, however you want to do it to come together. So that's what I said. When I first started doing it, it was a lot of border wars going on here. People were dying left and right. So I said, I don't care if y'all beef, and I'm putting y'all all on the same episode together. So you'll see how we look together. Here I am on the north side. I'm gonna go on the south side, and then I'm gonna stop on the east side and the west side, and then I'm gonna talk to you downtown, and we all meet in the middle. So yeah, collaboration is important. And for the artists out there that's trying to blow up, a lot of executives and ARs have talked to me and said when they look at Flint, they're looking for conglomerates. They're looking for a Wu-Tang Clan type deal. They want to see if y'all can unite together, or if y'all can stand behind one or two particular artists without the animosity and the backstabbing and the clicking and all that stuff. But yeah, that's my advice, stand together or stand out the way.
Definitely agree with that. Y'all hear that, Beecher Bucks? No, I'm kidding. Y'all not even. I love y'all. I just wanted to say that. All right. So, so let's talk a little bit about adversity. As we talk, you just tie right into the next question. So creating the abundance amidst the adversity. The Shet show was created by a young lady by the name of Carmen Loving and myself. And one of the reasons that it's called the Shet show, because number one, I stutter. So I talk slower because I stutter. And it took me back to a time where my band teacher over at Northern, we got a new band teacher. And for the life of him, he could not pronounce Sherletta. So whenever he would speak, it would always come out Shet. So that's how we got Shet. So the Shet show is all about abundance conversations. But in the face of challenges, how did you maintain such a positive mindset while continuing to create content that resonates with your audience?
Well, first I had to give that to my mother, Rapheal Robinson. She's been the most positive light in my life from day one. It's my best friend, gonna always be. She said, keep going, don't ever give up. Don't listen to the haters. If they say you can't do it, you do it twice as hard, maybe even 4 times hard. Just keep going. And she always taught me to be thankful for what I have. I mean, even down to my toenails. Some people don't have feet. So you got to wake up and be thankful. Roof over your head, or a window, or toilet paper, toothpaste, or, look, we got on glasses because we can't see. We got to be blessed for whatever, And everything is God's gift. Everything you create is God's gift because God created you. And I'm just a positive person. I don't know. I'm a Libra. You know, I like balance. I want to balance you out. If you got a bad attitude, I might get in one with you so we can be in the bad attitude together. I don't know. That's just me. I just, I like people. I'm trusting. I believe everything you say until you prove me different. I ain't gonna look down on you what you're doing because that's what you want to do. That's me.
Well, today I just want to do a quick reset. Today we are talking to, this is the second episode of the Shet show. Had a lot of technical difficulties, so could use some coffee, could use some donations to the channel. Our goal here is to have abundance conversations. I never charge our guests to be a part of the show. Today we're meeting with a Flint native. The episode today is just unveiling the pulse of the Flint creatives, right? Unveiling Flint's creative pulse, with Rapheal Robinson of KingMondoTV. Future visions and advice for aspiring filmmakers. So looking ahead, what are your aspirations for KingMondoTV and your filmmaking journey? Additionally, what advice would you give to aspiring filmmakers and artists who are navigating through this ever-changing digital landscape?
Well, the end goal is to have a media conglomerate, a place where people can go and be creative, a place where I can, show my full potential and entertain the masses and create opportunities for others. As far as film entertainment and radio music, like stuff like this, podcasts and things like that. Like a huge lot where people in Flint, so people can come and be a part of something bigger than than they imagine they can be. And as far as you said, like in the digital age, just stay consistent. They say, give them hell, and hell is repetition. It's over and over and over and over and over. And the people that get tired of it, it's not for them. You just keep going for the ones that's there for you. Know your audience. Target them with relentlessly. Just keep going and give them new content all the time, because it's not like when I was coming up, with TV and stuff like that. It was just a hard sell to get your stuff on TV. And so they had a captive audience. People had no choice but to get their entertainment from that box. So, but now that you're able to broadcast your own stuff, you got to stand all the way out. You got to be bigger than life. You can't hesitate. If you think if it's a good idea the first time you thought about it and you put it out there and you're like, oh, I don't like it, it ain't for you. You already put it out there. Let your audience enjoy it. Let them be the judge of it. Don't be afraid to be ugly. I'm missing a tooth. It wasn't always that way, but I didn't keep the camera off my face. I'm just going to fix that later on, and I'll be grinning and skinning. And just stay true to yourself. That's the bottom line. Stay true to yourself. If you want to be rock and roll or country, but you live in an urban neighborhood and they looking at you funny, hey, so what? Let them look at you funny. And if you in a country neighborhood and or white supremacist neighborhood, and you want to wear the do-rag and you want to pop lock and beatbox, go ahead, man. Do your thing. Don't let nothing stop you. Don't be no follower. Be a leader.
I love it. Oh yeah. I mean, listen, I was about to, pass the tray because you were opening the doors to the church, right? Okay. Abundance conversation. This has been amazing. Is there anything else that you want to add before we close out?
Yeah, just make sure you guys watch King Mondo Television Worldwide 2023. We just dropped a new movie, Suncrest Drive. The movie is out now, produced by Stu Nino, filmed and directed by Rapheal Robinson, that's me. Make sure y'all keep your eyes on this show right here, the Shet Show, because it's the shit. You know what I'm saying? And just be beautiful with one another. And shout out to everybody. Shout out to Flint City. What's poppin', Florida? We see y'all down there worldwide, all over America, and everybody on the planet. Leave our dollar alone. I need my dollar.
Absolutely.
Jeez.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we wrap up this incredibly enriching episode of the Shet Show Abundance Conversations, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest, Rapheal Robinson of KingMondoTV. Your insights today, experiences, and wisdom have truly elevated today's conversation and added a special layer of depth to our exploration of abundance in various facets of life. Rapheal, your presence here has been nothing short of inspiring, and we are truly fortunate to have had the opportunity to learn from your journey and your perspective. Your contributions have undoubtedly left an indelible mark on our audience, and we certainly see that the seeds of abundance, what you have sown today, will continue to flourish in the minds and hearts of all those who have tuned in. So to our cherished viewers, we invite you to connect further with Rapheal Robinson by visiting him at KingMondoTV. You see it across the bottom of the screen, right? He just shouted himself out, so you don't have no reason to say, I don't know, right? But the experiences that we have and the wealth of knowledge that we've gained today and the positivity that he shares. And remember, the conversation does not end here. Let's continue to explore abundance in every aspect of our lives. Visit us over at www.SherlettaGermain.com. There you will find a treasure trove of resources, insights, and future conversations that aim to guide us all towards a more abundant and fulfilling existence. Thank you once again, Rapheal, for being a beacon of insight on today's episode. And to all of our viewers, until we meet again, here's to embracing abundance in every step of our journey. Please stay tuned and stay abundant. All right. We'll see y'all later.